I just wanted to give some quick updates on the quarter as far as where we're at. I'm just getting my screens up here. So one of the things that got held over from last quarter is blogging. And for those of you who, I'm a big fan of visuals, who haven't seen the design, here it is. And basically the idea here is that it's going to be a funnel element. All of this, I got an update today on this. It is essentially done. We're going to see a final demo of it, I believe tomorrow or Friday, depending. They've been doing simultaneous QA on this. So the idea is that as development moves along, they're QAing it to just see and make sure that there's no issues here. So we've set a very firm date of no later than August 15th. But I hope and expect that it will actually go live before then. So I apologize for the lateness here. We did have a COVID illness set us back. So there's a good reason for it. But like I said, we'll have this out very soon. And then all of you can start creating your blogs. Oh, this is cool. Actually, I haven't seen this little pop-up before. So anyhow, that's blogging in a nutshell. Oh, cool. Sorry, these got revised. So they're kind of a couple of things I'm picking up on that I didn't see before. And then the other big thing that we are absolutely on track for this quarter is affiliate management. So just a quick rundown of this. This is really designed to allow you to do pretty much everything you can do with other affiliate management systems. Now, warning, as always, we start with a skateboard model. Oh, wait, I forgot. I'm sharing my screen. So for those of you who don't know our model, I really, oh no, hold on. I want the one with the X in it. I really like this. Oh man, come on. Just my luck. I get the small one. There we go. So we do it like the bottom here, not like the top. So when I say it's affiliate management, we're going for the skateboard to start with, and we're going to build up to the car. We never try to jump to the car because it takes too long and you invariably mess stuff up and don't get things right. So with that is exactly what we're doing with affiliate management. So you'll see here, once you get set up, you'll do Stripe Connect. You can upload your list of affiliates if you have existing ones, so that if you have another system, you can go in and actually move over any of your existing affiliates. You can import them just like you would import a CSV for contact. Obviously, you can add individual affiliates manually, and then you can create campaigns. And campaigns are pretty simple at this point. They are percentage based. You can set the cookie life. Obviously, you have to choose which affiliates are going to be in which campaigns, that kind of thing, and name it, give it a path, all that. And then once that goes live, sorry, lots of screens. Oh, and of course, you can choose which products are included. So you can obviously give commission on some and not on others, that kind of thing. And I actually haven't been through all of these really awesome screens yet, so I apologize. I'm kind of ad-libbing as I go. But anyways, you can see that it's going to be awesome one way or another. The team's done a great job. We have a really talented product manager on this particular feature, and this will be out by the end of this quarter. We've also got some other good updates coming that I'm excited about, like recurring invoice payments will be in beta this week, I'm hoping. We'll see if NASA tells me otherwise. But this is the big feature that I'm excited about this quarter, because I definitely think it will significantly enhance our feature set with all of you on the as our core customers. I also think, just a quick shout out to people on this call who have been doing this for a while. I don't see any reason in the world why this can't be used for a small business. And I wouldn't call it, I would think of it less as affiliate management, but more as like referrals and paying people for referrals. It works off the funnel system. So, if you can sell almost anything, right? So, I mean, if you work with a med spa and you want to create a situation where, the med spa has some kind of special that they want to have promoted, you can very quickly set it up so that their customers can also become promoters. So I think this is something that you should really think about in terms of something you can offer as a feature out to your small businesses, not just on a traditional affiliate system. And obviously, it's going to be at the location level. It'll be on all plans. So it's something that will be available to everybody very soon. So with that, I see.
Sean, will that require something like first promoter as well, or is this potentially a replacement?
This is a replacement. I mean, well, I want to be really
Potentially.
cautious here. It will be it will be a skateboard replacement.
Thank you.
So
Sean, one small correction on the recurring invoices. So recurring invoices are already in beta.
no,
So what
recurring
we are
invoice
planning,
payments.
yeah, the auto payment on the recurring invoices will be put into beta sometime this week.
Excellent. So I don't know how many of you were waiting for that to really adopt recurring invoices, but hopefully a lot of you. So I'm excited to get that feature live. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to turn it back to the questions. Take it away.
Let's do it. Thanks for the freestyle, Sean.
Wait. Before we go into questions,
Oh, yeah.
we need to make sure everyone
Sorry.
is aware.
Hold on.
Of the
Sorry. They told me to do this and I forgot. Oh, yeah. We're having our first ever live event, the Level Up Summit in October. I hope you saw my video. If not, you're hearing about it here. Go to levelup.gohighlevel.com. Somebody will drop it in the chat and then go buy some tickets because we expect to see all of you there. And if you don't, you're going to miss out on the best event of the year. So don't be that person. That'll be lame. I'd be sad for you. The most important thing about this, though, is not us. I mean, yeah, we're going to launch a ton of new features and have amazing opportunities to get started with new things before anybody else and secretly help you take over the world before everybody else. But besides that, there's also the most amazing speakers you could imagine coming to this event. And you're not going to see the same set of people anywhere. And these aren't like stand up on stage and pitch you a bunch of garbage speakers. These are like really awesome, amazing. I've followed this person for 10 years speakers, and I'd love to have an opportunity to meet them or talk to them. And this is bringing all of those people into one room. Everybody on the speaker list, I personally think is amazing, and I know many of you do. So you gotta go. Otherwise, you got problems. So, anyways, on that note, turning it back to Chase. Go for it.
All right. The first
you
question.
covered it. Let's go back to Nico. Yep. Go for it, Nico.
Cool. The first question is from Danny. I am now using custom SMS channel. Any timeline on integrating all the different ways to text? Right now, only automations and single messages from the inbox work. The new messages from the inbox does not. The mass text does not, and the mobile app does not. And any messages from the custom channel do not show up in the app. This would be great to get soon. And do you know if MMS works via custom SMS yet?
So I can take that one. This one is on the roadmap for Q4, and it will be a phased release. So bulk action should be coming sooner. And over time, by the end of Q4, by the end of this year, we'll be integrating it with all the other remaining pieces as well. And MMSs currently don't work with custom SMS, but by the end of the year, you should have that as well.
Great. Awesome. Great question, Danny. Next one's from Steve. Can you explain how the actual cost of tracking number itself is being charged? It doesn't seem like it is being charged. Also, how can we increase our charge to the customer for profit?
This looks like an ISV plus SaaS question. I mean, can we get a confirmation on that?
Yeah, my only question is the tracking number itself. Typically, Twilio was charging like $1 or per month or whatever it was, but it doesn't seem like it's being charged. And I believe then that would mean we would be being charged for it without the ability to charge our customers or upcharge our customers for it.
Got it. So, so you are on the lead connector phone system, which means you would be getting charged something like $1 per phone number per month, be it tracking number, be it regular number. I think all of those are the same. To your client, if they are on SaaS mode and if you have enabled Twilio rebilling, whatever markup that you decide, like let's say you have a 3x markup. So instead of $1, your clients will pay you $3, and that difference is your profit.
Yeah, I understand that, but there's no area on there for that. I mean, we can increase the per minute charge.
So the markup that you apply, like, so let's say if it is 3x, it applies to SMS, calls, call recording charges, answering machine detection, phone numbers, everything. So when you say that I want to upcharge my client 3x, we apply that multiple to everything, all kind
Gotcha.
of like all categories. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
How do we make this more obvious? Shivam, this is one of the things I was thinking about today. Like, we need an article that says lead connector phone system charges, and it goes very in depth on all the charges, because that's the number. I get these questions more than anything. So can we get Michael or somebody to write a very in-depth article on this?
Yes, that is in the works on the lead connector side, but I think we will require one for SaaS mode as well. And again, if I can run a quick experiment, a lot of you, like, we have about 60 people on the call, and a lot of you might be doing SaaS mode. We have 83 people on the call. What do you guys prefer? Like, do you want to set different markups for different categories? Like, I want to charge SMS 3x, calls 2x, phone numbers maybe 5x. Do you need that flexibility, or should we just go ahead and make it obvious that the same multiple gets applied to everything?
Personally, for me, it's fine for me to, if it's 3x, it's 3x across the board. I just want to see what is being, where we're making our profit.
Got it.
Yeah, I think it's a visibility thing.
I agree. It's details. It's like yesterday when someone was like, what are these carrier charges? The what there? You need to be able to like click on it and be like, boom, here's every message this is getting applied to, or whatever, right? Like, more detail around it.
I know it would be kind of hard to implement, but if we get that kind of granular, I think it's easier from the customer standpoint, even though I don't have a problem the way it is, just to be clear, and neither do my customers, to be able to say, look, your text segment is a flat 2 cents. And, because the variance in the carrier rates, we just have to get into detail because we get that question, but and nobody complains after I explain it. So I don't really have a big problem with it, but it sounds attractive from my perspective. From a developer, it might be a whole different thing to be able to say, look, a flat 2 cents, 3 cents per text segment. It sounds easier to explain to the customer. Just a suggestion.
I think there's, if you go to company billing, you can see the reporting. You can see that this text was this much, this voicemail was this much. I just think we're wondering, is there a line item for phone number, the recurring monthly billing for phone numbers? I just don't know if that line item's there or not.
Yeah, I agree. There you go.
I would like to add something here too. I noticed that, like, on the agency side, a phone number is $1 a month, but when I go into the price, the charge details for a sub account with a client, it looks like they're being charged $5, and I have my Twilio rebilling set to 10x. So that's kind of confusing.
Just send me the location ID. We can look into it. And by the way, like, those of you who are asking, like, where can we see the phone numbers being rebilled? In the rebilling transaction table, whenever, like, every month phone numbers get rebilled, and you would see a line item in the transaction table saying that, hey, 5 phone numbers got rebilled and this is the total amount. But yeah, like, I get the feedback. We'll try to improve the UX around it and just try to make it more obvious that what gets rebilled and by how much. Thank you for the feedback.
Yep.
Awesome. Next question's from Mary Sue. She just wanted to ask, when was the blogging going to be coming out?
At the absolute latest, August 15th, but I've been told, actually, hold on. Pooja, are you on here?
Yeah,
let Pooja handle it.
Yeah. So it's right now being parallelly queued. So, like, we are collecting as many as bug possible, like, before it goes even to beta. So our target is around 10th, or like, probably around end of the week. But if possible, like, we'll keep positive that 15th is the last date when it goes live.
Great. Thanks, Pooja. Next question's from Francis. WhatsApp integration was announced a year ago. Are we any closer to release?
I think I covered this last time, but there's good news and bad news. So the original way in which we were going to do it is through Twilio, which would have cost a lot of extra money and been almost impossible actually to set up. But lucky for us, Mark Zuckerberg finally decided he was going to release it directly. So what happened is we wrote all the code to integrate it with Twilio, and we spent at least 6 months on it. And then this direct integration came out. So we had trash canned the whole effort. And we're restarting again with the direct WhatsApp API. Shaw's not here, so I can't tell you if it's going to happen this quarter or next, but it will happen before the end of the year.
Yeah, and Sean, Shubham will be taking care of it.
Oh,
So,
perfect.
Yeah, so it's with my team, and exactly the same reasons. We built something, then we realized that there is a better solution available, so we scrapped the old one. We are building the new one right now. The end of the year seems reasonable at this point in time.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Next one is from Chris. Regarding user permissions, currently when settings is turned off, the manage smart lists function goes away for all location user types. This means they cannot delete or otherwise manage their own smart lists. If an admin turns on the settings permission to allow the user to delete/manage their smart lists, it also exposes potentially confidential data across the entire account.
If you scroll down a little bit, I forgot to add the question. So my question was, can you guys make the manage smart lists be controlled by the contacts permission instead of the settings permission? That makes sense to me because it's in the contacts area.
Got it. So I think the user permissions is a module that we have planned to look at. And this is another one that we'll add it to our list when we come to it in Q4.
And yeah, and is Siddharth on the call? Because Siddharth is doing the product work for a lot of these notifications and permission scopes, right?
Yes, Shivam, I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah. Just you can just make a note of this because it does make sense to put this under contacts instead of settings.
Sure. Note taken.
Great. Next question's from Melissa. Wondering when we'll see folders for custom fields and custom values.
There's good news here. The custom fields will be out in the next 3 weeks. It is a multi-phase deployment, and we went live with the first one. It's an internal phase to re-architect, but you should see it live by the 21st of August. The custom fields, the custom values is not yet on the roadmap. We will, work on that as well.
Quick question for the custom fields. Are those going to show us like how many forms or surveys it's being used in or anything like that to help us manage them as well?
Not at the moment. With the current release, we're targeting 3 things. One is being able to add standard fields. So they will also be available in the settings area, and you can categorize them into folders. The second thing is adding the foldering capabilities. And the third one is that view being available on the contact details page. So you see the folder view there and you click and you have grouping there by folders.
Yeah, I'd love for you guys to add to like the roadmap on that eventually to be able to like easily see what ones are being used, what ones aren't, because sometimes we make duplicates of the same and I'm scared to delete one and not the other because I'm not sure which one is actually connected. Yeah, just
I vote on that too.
Tags. Yeah, tags would be good for that too.
Got it. Yeah, we'll make a note of it.
Awesome. Next one is from Stephanie. A while ago, there was a lot of talk about updating the calendars. Is there any update on that?
I heard one yesterday. Who on the product team's here for that? Feel free to call them out, Shibam.
Sorry, I missed that. What product are we talking about?
It's calendar, but who is there anybody on the call who can speak to the calendar?
Shanavaz, Suresh, anyone?
Nikunj?
I'm here, Sean.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you answer do you have an answer on that question?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I can repeat it. Stephanie is just curious about if there's any updates on the calendars.
Yeah, we have some plans. Like in calendar, we are migrating from teams to groups. So now the current how it works is like the users are added to a team, then they have to be selected inside a calendar. Moving forward, we are dropping teams and we are introducing groups inside calendar. So you can just go to calendar and directly add users to it. So that's an update which we are expecting in a week.
Do you have any screenshots?
You said that was in a week? Or did I miss that?
Yeah, it will be out in a week.
Okay, I gotta update my vocab then.
Can you tell us how that's going to impact us?
Yeah, just give me a second. I'll share the screen. I can show you how it's going to work.
It's like window shopping.
So this is why we used to manage the calendar teams here. So we have to configure, set up a team, then we have to configure a calendar settings over here. So what we did is we moved it to the calendar setting itself as a group. So each one of it is a group now. Now creating a group is so simple, like it just can be used as a foldering and grouping the calendars, and you can define your own slug names. So that's it, a group got created. So now you can just go ahead and add a calendar to it. So directly the users are now linked to the calendar. So instead of going back and adding it to a team and coming back and configuring it up and setting up in a calendar, we'll be like moving forward, we'll be directly including and excluding users from the calendars.
Okay, so just to recap, basically, like we can just skip the whole Teams thing. We just create a calendar folder, and then everybody just shows up as a user, right? That we can add.
Yeah, it's a simplification move. So this is actually designed to have zero impact on people and make your life just nothing less than innumerably easier.
Awesome. Thank you.
So instead of doing all this configuration and setup, now it will be more simpler. Like directly set up a calendar and add users to them.
Okay, so when is this happening? Because I have like 40 calendars under a client and I was going to have to create 40 team calendars. So now I don't have to?
Yeah, you will not be required to do that. And even the existing one will get auto-migrated. Whichever calendar is having a list of team members, the migration is taken care.
Will this allow us to move calendars from like group to group?
Yep, it supports importing calendars from Snapshot also.
Cool.
There's no longer
Wow.
a team calendar versus a not team calendar, I think is the biggest thing that I would take away from this, right? There's just calendars.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
thank
that
God.
assigned group going away too?
The what?
Is that unassigned group, the like version 1 calendar, is that disappearing too?
Yeah. Everything. I think everything goes away, right, Suresh? It all is just its calendars.
Unassigned is nothing but like kind of ungrouped calendars. So there is another update which is coming forward. This entire view, we are planning to convert them into a table view, listing out both unassigned and assigned calendars together, and they'll be able to group.
Yeah, so, but there's no longer like multiple types of calendars, right? They're just calendars.
Gotcha. And can you drag a calendar from one group to another, I think is what Stephanie asked?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I think we're gonna put it in a table, but so that would probably preclude dragging, but let's see.
Yep, I would just add a few things here. Basically, there are 3 phases of the release. The first one, what you guys are able to see right now, where we will move away from the team so that just go there, select the number of users which you want to add to the calendars, or don't select the user. So there is no confusion between the old calendar or new calendar. Second phase, which will soon out in couple of weeks, which will include the ability for you to, it will of course have the new navigations menu, all the simplified options. But apart from that, you will get the ability to move one calendar from one group to another, whether it has a user, whether it doesn't have the user. So all these problems, what you guys are facing, whether it is due to the copy or move the one calendar to other group, that will go out. So all this functionality, that is part of the second phase. And on the third phase, we will have the complete restructures of the how you create the calendars, because you will see the most simplest options, and for the advanced user they will go slightly better. So it will have the completely new easy way to set up the calendar. That will be the third phase. Make sense?
If the calendars are individual calendars that you're attaching users to, what happens when you have 2 users in different time zones? How do you manage that? How does the calendar manage the appointments then?
Yeah, it will stay as it is what we have today. Like each user will define their availability, their time zone, what they are already able to do today. Like each user have the time zone, each user have their availability. Let's say there are 2 users, both have the different time zone. On top of that, calendar have the availability. So, I mean, it will work as it is, what it is.
So when you say a group calendar, that'll be like, let's say the sales department would be a group, and then there'd be multiple salespeople in my case with different, they live across the country, so they'll have different time zones and they can manage the appointments the same. It won't matter.
I would say we will move away from the, I mean, group won't be the necessary, group won't be the group of user, group will be just a group of calendar. So in each calendars, what you want to show, let's say I have 5 services, I am dentist, I have 5 services. You want to show them in the same group where leads will come and they will select whether it is 30 minutes appointment, 60-minute appointment. So that is just a group. And with each calendars, you will select the user. For example, sales, I have user Nick and Robin. So I just select the Nick and Robin are able to take that call. So I will just select the users who is eligible to take that calendar.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Sounds
just,
like
yeah. So remember, it's really about the viewpoint of the person booking, because I don't care where your silly salespeople are, right? I care about my time zone. So we do the math for you. So we're like, all right, well, we know where your people live, we know what availability they have, and then we show it in a combined state to the person booking in their time zone.
Right. Okay.
What we do now.
What about like the actual calendars tab showing the time zone of the user? You know,
well,
like,
I mean, if you have multiple users, what the heck time zone do I show?
you show the location. So like I'm in Nashville Central Time Zone,
Right.
and my sales guy's in California, and he sees Nashville Time Zone in his calendar in High Level.
Wait, on what page? Like on the calendars page?
Yes. He doesn't see his time zone.
Right, because we don't know who's available to pick up that appointment depending on where they are.
He's saying as a user,
Oh.
so he's changing the dynamic. He's saying as a user of the system, not on the calendar itself, on the calendar page inside the app, he sees Nashville time zone.
Yeah, time zone of the sub account, not time zone of the
this
user.
is always like this big debate, right? Because then we get the people who are like, oh, I have a team in the Philippines and I need them to book for my team in San Francisco, but they're seeing, but if they see their time zones, they're going to be booking people, they don't see availability relative to the person calling and all that, right? So it's sort of like this.
So that's a use case that I haven't thought of. That's the reason why.
Could there be like
displays.
a toggle on the calendars page or a drop down?
Yeah, smarter people than me have thought of this. And I don't know if any of them are here and know the plan, but there is some plan around this.
Yeah, someday in futures, we will give you the flexibility.
Got it.
And will like somebody that's not part of the team, like will a VA be able to book a call for someone on their calendar? Like would my VA be able to book a call for me on my calendar?
You can do that now, I think. Are you sure? I swear I just dropped a video that said.
Okay, if that's new, that's
booking on. I think that changed in the last 3 weeks.
okay. That'd be
But try
amazing.
it. Let me know. If not, if not, I don't know. I'd just be surprised. But I know if you go under even prior to that, if you go into a contact, can you hit add event or add appointment and then choose the calendar in a drop down?
It just says no calendars available. Like if the VA is booking on my calendar and they're not a team member on my calendar, then they
on your calendar or in the sub account.
Go into the sub account.
Yeah.
Go into one of my calendars, like for a deliverability call of some sort. And
Yeah.
the VA tries to, block off time manually and pick somebody to book the call for. The VA hasn't been able to do that because the VA is not a team member on that calendar.
Okay. I'm looking like I can book an appointment on.
Yeah, we don't have a problem with that. We do that successfully. So that sounds like
It may have changed.
weird.
I'll go check it.
Okay.
It sounds like only assigned data might be on.
if they're not seeing the calendar.
I'll go try it.
Roger.
Will we also be able to determine the order that the calendars fall on the front end side?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The
Yeah, I would
not
love
the
this.
calendars, but the services.
So yeah, like if we have a group, if we're putting like a group in a widget on the website, can we determine the order that the calendars are in?
Yeah. Like when we're showing the different services that you can choose, right?
Right, 30 minutes, 60 minute, 90 minute, so on.
Yeah, Suresh, is that on the list? Do you know what he's talking about?
No, Sean, I don't have an update on the funnel side.
But do you know what he's talking about? That's okay. Shah was supposed to be here, but he's not. So I know there's discussion on that. I'd be shocked that if it wasn't in this quarter, but they know about that issue. So I can't tell you, I can't remember where it's at, but yeah, we will have that for sure.
All right, thanks, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I don't want to keep getting off track on the people who were nice enough to put questions in the thing.
Yeah. Next one is from Bill. Email builder. The system auto generates an unsubscribe link in the footer. Is there a way to put a link for view this email in your browser in the header element?
So currently this is not possible right now, but like, we will put this up in our things to do. And this could be easily done through like, adding custom variables or through different method, but like, this could be possible. So we'll just add this in our to do. Yeah.
Cool. Great. Thanks, Pooja. Next question's from Brian. Would it be possible to give us more granular control over the development of labs and testing features? It seems to be all or nothing right now, and enabling labs only in a certain sub-account at a time would be incredibly helpful for us and greatly improve our team's ability to test, then support new features for our users.
What's an example of that? Because I felt like a lot of the labs features are at the sub-account level.
Yeah, they are at the sub-account level.
Oh, so it's my understanding is that I have to turn it on and then go into all of my sub accounts and turn it off account by account anytime I want to.
So you're saying like if I take one of these and I turn it on here inside the sub account, it'll turn it on for every sub account?
Well, just like I have like at the agency level, I just have labs turned off altogether, and I haven't turned it on because it just turns it on in every sub account.
Oh, I see. So labs
it does.
Is on or off.
Yeah, so like I would love to, my super test account and just turn labs on there.
So like enable labs only for XYZ sub account.
Yeah, right now it's just like I gotta deploy it and then have my team go through everything and figure out what it turned on.
Got it. Who owns labs?
We do at CRM.
Right. Remember, Sean, this was the issue with like the menu.
Nope, don't remember. Can't remember what I had for dinner last night. So don't ever say, do you remember? Because I won't. Bad memory. I'm more of a RAM guy, less of a hard drive guy. So just remember that. But Karan, can you just take a note, flag that for the product manager and have them run that down?
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Awesome. Next question's from D. Roger. Has there been any thought of being able to use the email templates for campaigns for one-off emails from the conversation interface?
Oh yeah, Pooja, can you just speak to this? Everybody, for some reason, wants us to stuff the entire email creator tool in the workflows, in the conversations, all of this. So like, can you talk about like, what's the plan there? What do other systems do? I don't even know, but it just seems like such a huge endeavor.
Sure. So, right now we are going through the first phase of it is going to be divided into multiple phases. So first we are going to start with, inside the email builder, we are going to change how the text editor works, okay? Like the text block that comes in. The second step will be where there is templates written, right? Where, people are using plain text templates. That's going to be changed and moved over to email builder, where, you'll be able to use the exact plain text templates. Then the place where it is being used inside workflows for email templates, like will give the capability that, you can use like email builder over there directly. Like you don't need to visit the email builder and then do the changes to your copy. That's like the third phase. And then like, based on like, people's inquiry about like, we wanted inside conversations or any other parts of the product, like we'll provide those kind of facility where, it just directly opens the email builder and you can make the changes to the copy required. So that's the plan right now. So we are going phase by phase for this, and we started with our first phase with email builder. Yeah.
Sounds like we're doing it. That's awesome.
Is there a timeline for each of those phases?
No, so we are going to first start with the text one, and then like, move the plain text one. So that is going to be part of this quarter only. And then later on, once we move towards like the workflow part, like that will be in quarter 4 or something, which we have yet not decided, but we are going to go phase by phase. So first 2 things are going to be part of quarter 3.
So maybe a phase a quarter, sounds like?
Most likely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Question on that. I noticed like when I create an email template and I compare it, like, for example, to the MailChimp, which I still have, the formatting is not as clean. Like you got spots where it looks like the line heights are a little bit off. And, I don't know if anybody's looked at it in that detail or not, but if you put them side by side, like take an Arial font in both cases and build two items and look at them side by side, they don't look the same in our builder GHL as they do. Anybody looked at that?
Pooja, that's really you.
Yeah, okay.
Right? You look at that,
God.
I hope.
Yeah, I have looked at it. I was just thinking that someone else will have. So, yep. So Glenn, like, we have checked it out. For that same reason, we are working on that text block, which will provide you with the capability to get it side by side. So even like, the margin changes that you are talking about, you will be able to control that out. We already know there are some features that MailChimp provides, which are lacking inside our email builder, which we'll get there with time by time. So our first thing is like, to get our text editor part done, and then like the margin and padding one that they provide. So it's going to be something like, in this quarter only, which we are targeting to do. So you'll be able to get like, the exact view too.
Yeah, because it doesn't look right when you build it. It doesn't look the same as when you send it to yourself. It's the spacing, the you get like bold based on what font size you pick. Something looks like bolder than non-bold. It's definitely visually not as appealing. So if you're working on it, okay, I guess is the answer, and you're aware of it. That's the bigger issue. I just want to make sure that I wasn't crazy, which I may be anyway. But okay,
so,
thank you.
Yeah, majority of the people use it in that way so that it does not look to them like, when they compare it side by side. But because like you have used like the advanced features that are there inside like MailChimp, that makes the bigger difference. So that's where we are heading towards. And we want to say that, it will be part in email builder too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, again, if you're working on it, that's what you're working on. So, okay. Just as long as you're aware of it, because yeah, they just don't visually look nearly as clean and appealing. White space balance, it's off. The visual is off. So okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pooja, for clearing that up. Next question's from Danny. When is the timeline for WordPress FTP access?
Never. Oh, I don't know.
That question is for me. We have slated that for Q4 of this year. But yeah, like I think we'll meet the deadline on this one. So by the end of Q4 this year, we will have FTP for WordPress.
Awesome.
Thank you, Shivam.
Can I go back to email for just one quick second? One more thing. If I'm setting a template, can you, when you come out with this new enhancement, can I structure the block by default to define it to be a specific font and size? So what I'm finding now is I'm dragging in a block, I'm putting in text, and depending on what it is, if it's a 2-column versus a 1-block text and different things, the text isn't defaulting to the same font within the block. So if I design a template and I always want this in the middle of the template, this little block, and I want it to be an Arial 14 font, for example, then whenever I open that template, I want it to decide the formatting.
I guess like Glenn, you're talking about like, saved block as a feature inside like email builder. That's what you're like pointing towards, right?
because it's part of the template, right? If I'm building a template, I have a header, I have this feature section, I have this, and I want to define all that so that when I pull that template up and start typing in those blocks, it's automatically all formatted for me.
Got it. So this is something that we are going to do it in Q4, something that we have got a good amount of requests on, but this is something that we have planned for Q4. So we are already aware about this as a feature. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I like that one, Glenn. It's one of your less crazy, nutty out there ideas.
I'll take it.
Yeah, no, I like that. It makes a lot of sense. So, I think those types of detail moves are definitely what we want to make sure we do. And on the visual thing too, I'm totally on board with you as well. I mean, we want it to be as beautiful as anybody else's email builder. So,
well, the issue is I'm defining the template. I'm giving it to the customer,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
saying,
I get all that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to sit roundabout, say you're right. So
no, it's fine. Whatever, as long as we get it fixed.
Okay.
Yeah, get it fixed. That's all.
All right, we're on it. Okay, well, what's next?
Next one's from Mary Sue. I don't seem to have the ability to convert funnels to websites. Do I need to turn on something? I don't see it under labs.
Stop having to do that. Stop making funnels that you have to later change over. Stop messing up and you'll be fine. Oh, I don't know. Is that that's a feature?
All you got to do is go in there, add the page step, and then you just bring it right in. It's already built
there's
in.
a feature that I know you launched where it just sucks what's in the funnel.
Yeah,
and
I thought so too. I don't get it. Did it disappear?
No, guys. I think it's you have to create, like in websites, you have to create a page and right there.
Look at this. Yeah,
There's
see,
a button under settings.
if we all shut up for a second, NASA will show us how this is done. Hold on.
Yeah, it's right here. So if you're in funnels and if you want to make use of the website as one of the funnel steps, you just go here and just grab it from here, say that website, and this is the page that I want to import, just say import. So this is how, so at the step/page level, you have this capability. So similarly, if you go to websites and, right here, when you, let's say, create a variation, you can say use existing, that will give you an option to, take it from either a funnel step or a website page.
Thank you. I know it's simple. I could not find it.
Yeah, it's available when you try to create that page, so that's one of the options for you.
Awesome. Thanks, NASA. Next question's from Anna. What about reoccurring meetings? Thought that was on Q2 expected after Q4 2021.
Yep, I still really need this. I'm basically going to have to book 7,000 appointments again.
I mean, while the product manager for calendars isn't here,
it's on this quarter's roadmap. So there. It's happening this quarter.
No, that's
good. Recurring appointment.
Yep. I have standing meetings with customers to review stuff every week.
I know the feeling.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, I just have clients that have, like recurring music lessons and whatever.
Yes, I know.
And it's 7,000 more appointments.
It's on this quarter's. It's going to get released this quarter. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
You're certain?
Well, I'm not certain of anything, unfortunately. None of us can be, but hold on. I'm double checking, but I'm as close to certain as I get.
We've heard that. We've heard that. So.
Yeah, well,
it's certainly on the roadmap.
It is on this quarter's roadmap.
If you ever build something this big, you call me. Here, look, hold on though. Like seeing is believing, I say. Give me a sec.
Well, also while you're looking,
nope, already
what
looked.
would be
There we go.
good is that we don't have to be in team calendar or anything like that anymore, because whenever
no
this
team
happens,
calendar. That's what I'm telling you.
That's going to go away.
There's no more team calendars. So, all right, everybody, look, this is the roadmap for Q3 for the calendar team. Let's just go through all of them. So recurring appointments, check. Drag and drop, rearrange. Remember? That was a question earlier. Boom. What? Okay. I don't know the heck ability to pick V3 key calendars, team management. I think that was like what we saw. I don't know. Consolidate user calendar configuration. Yeah, that sounds like what we saw. That's awesome. Be able to set non-recurring dates and times for appointment booking. This is like block stuff out. Remember that one?
Yes.
Yeah. Like single events or
yeah,
like
this is great.
Yeah.
Yep.
See? Exceptions to recurring schedule. you also be able to put exceptions in there. Like, I want to meet with everybody, this person once a
Like
week on a Wednesday, except this one day.
Christmas and Thanksgiving. Yeah.
There you go. Well, I mean,
This is great.
some of us take holidays, and then setup flow. So that's the calendar for the quarter. So I think I really know that, we worked really hard with this team to put a schedule together that we knew were some really good enhancements that people wanted. So I just couldn't remember them all, but we do write them down. So, so that is exactly what's happening with the calendar.
And the reason this got delayed was I remember the meeting now. So we wanted to do recurring appointments on the calendar, but the thing was, let's reorganize the teams. And because if we built recurring appointments and then went ahead and tried to fix groups, it would have been, let's edit all the calendars, the V2, V3, all calendars into one, and then build recurring appointment. And that's why this got delayed a little bit. So that's what happened.
Okay, Shivam, thanks for explaining that. Appreciate it.
One more thing to add with the calendars, or to ask about the calendars, is to have the reschedule drop down as an action or trigger, however you want to say it. So, there was a reschedule, then we can have that.
Oh yeah, the team does know about that.
That's super powerful.
Oh yeah. So the team does know about that. I don't know where it's at.
But Gus, if you make an idea, we'll all vote for it.
I think it's actually already.
This has been brought up so many times, and then
This one's super old. I don't disagree with that. We don't have the calendar product manager. He bugged at the last minute, so we're doing the best we can. So stop asking calendar questions. I don't have good answers for you right now.
I will do that. Hey, thanks for not giving me a smackdown, Sean.
No, that's great. You're totally right on that one too. But we will get that done. I just don't know when. All right, next question.
Next question's from Pamela. I have 2 team calendars with the same HTML code. One is in the website builder and one is in the funnel builder. Some of the custom code is not working on the funnel. I do not have any other CSS in the funnel or website builder. Is this due to the recent CSS changes, and will this be the case moving forward? Do I need custom code for the website builder and funnel builder?
Oh my God, how many questions can you put in one question? Okay, so no, it's all good though. All right, so listen, the answer is maybe, I don't know, because anyone who ever says like, why does my custom code not work? Beats me. Maybe you wrote it poorly. Maybe the wind shifted, I don't know. But you are probably absolutely accurately correct in such that we did make a big change recently, which had 4 weeks of forewarning. And the dev team set up a very specific way that you could test prior to the release for the last 4 weeks in labs. And so it's very likely that that's the case. So you're going to have to go find someone who either wrote the code originally and have them fix it, or somebody who can fix it and go fix it. But we don't anticipate changing too much more in the future.
Yeah, it's a bigger question, I think. I know the code is exactly the same. And
then it's probably, yes, it's probably that change that broke it. Absolutely.
So it's going to be the same moving forward. Website and funnels are going to be different. I'm going to need different code.
No, not necessarily. I just don't. I mean, I don't know the specific issue. That's the problem. I can tell you logically and statistically, it's probably based on that change. But can somebody mute Josh Guest? No mic, no cam, even though it says no mic, no cam, but it has mic because it keeps. So anyways, I would say the websites and funnels actually should be the same.
Yeah.
And so in that regard, that's a little bit of a stumper. So do me a favor, like, can you rustle me up a ticket number? And then I will escalate it with that team.
Okay. Yeah, because I think it's a bigger issue. Perhaps I might have stumbled.
Yeah, it may well be. We did just make a big change, and I will say the instances of bugs and errors and so forth generally correlate to large changes.
Yeah, and I figured that, but I just.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
If it needs to be different code for both, that's fine. I just need to know.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. That doesn't make sense to me. But like I said, I'll run that up the chain for you. Absolutely.
And I have one question with regards to the funnels to websites. Can I do websites to funnel?
NASA?
Yeah, it's the same option anyway.
Yes, you can do that.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, Bharath had it. Sorry, my bad. Yes, you can.
Reversible.
Yeah, it's the same option. Basically, if you go to websites and if you try to import a funnel, it will show you websites. If you go to funnels and try to import a website, it'll show you website. So you can do it either way.
Thank you so much.
Can someone mute Josh moving forward? He's still active cam.
Oh yeah. Chase, you
mic.
got no wait, Nico, you have host, man.
It's not letting me mute him. I'm trying to.
Yeah. All right. Well, then you may have to kick him out. I don't know. But next question.
Next one is from Kristen. Can the search by location name field in Mailgun settings also search by domain? Pretty please.
Karthikeyan, are you on the call? I mean, yeah, we'll just make a note of it. We get this request from time to time. I think right now you can search by the location name and location ID, but we cannot search by domain name. We can make that happen.
Thank you.
Awesome. The next question, one moment, I kind of lost my spot. The next question is, from Mary Sue, are you working on failed payment workflow triggers / actions?
I'll take this one. So we saw it on the ideas board. So not failed payment triggers, but based on product purchases, this is in our roadmap, and this will be out by the end of August, probably after 2 weeks. So with that, what you will be able to do is that you can customize your mails and send that mail whenever a product is purchased on an order form. So you can select inside the automations, you can select the trigger as order form submission, get a direct filter of product, and whenever that product is purchased, you can send out custom emails. So
yeah, but I think this question though, Prashant, is more like when my SaaS payment fails.
Yeah.
I want to lock the account off and I want to send the person an email. So that's the question.
Yeah, that was the question, and that was on the ideas board, but most of the people commented that they wanted product purchase based. So this we picked up earlier as compared to the whenever any payment is done in your Stripe account. So we will be picking that, but this is coming up earlier than that. So both of them are.
What about the other one? Because automatic lockoff for SaaS has to be done soon, right? I mean, this is a thing. Shivam, feel free to also back up for Prashant.
I was actually trying to. Yeah, I was trying to just hide. Okay, so the plans are by Q4, by the end of Q4, there will be 4 things possible with SaaS subscriptions. We are starting with upgrades. Then we will move over to cancellation lockout. Like if your client does not pay, we would cancel them automatically and we will notify them. We will also allow you to cancel accounts if you want. We will allow you to downgrade SaaS subscriptions. All of these 4 things would be possible by the end of Q4. How much would you be able to customize this? Even today, even today, if you want to customize your messaging, let's say your SaaS client does not pay up and you want to customize that messaging, you can actually directly, do this using Stripe webhooks in Zapier. When will we have those customizations? I'm not sure, but off the shelf, a default solution that works for 95% of the people, that would be ready in Q4.
Awesome. So the next question we have is from Don. When will additional social media features be out and what will they be? Example, ability.
I was going to say that is a dubious question, but go ahead.
The next part is ability to have social media library, ability to reuse, ability to have recurring, etc.
So I would say the first part I'll answer. What are the additional social media features that we'll be getting out? So recently we are working on 3 main features. First one is Twitter that we are going to add in as a social, followed by Facebook new page experience, and then it is CSV import. So these are the core 3 features that we are going to focus by end of this August, and that's what we are going to look into getting it by end of August. And then the second part is ability to have a social media library, ability to reuse and recurring. So all of these things will be covered by, by end of Q4, probably even before that. So it's you can expect it by Q4, you'll be having all of these ability to control all, who can see it, how to reuse the content, and even set up a recurring post. So those things will be possible by Q4.
And I just want to give a shout out to Pooja for excellent support on the Google Ads problem that, I was having. She did a wonderful job and is amazing and has great documentation. So I just want to shout out and thank her for such a great job.
Go Pooja.
Go Pooja.
Thank you so much.
She is the best.
Thank you so much, guys.
Pooja is amazing. I cannot second that enough.
So next question we have is from Brian. Is there any plans to give us control over what time zones are available in the calendar widget / system overall? This would help us decrease user and contact errors when booking appointments.
I mean, right now on the calendars, so let's say you have a calendar widget. When a user tries to, when a contact tries to book an appointment, we automatically detect their time zone. And that's how we book the appointment. Do you feel it is unreliable, or have you seen cases where it did not work as expected? I mean, if you share those cases with us, we would just make the time zone detection better, which would be an easier solution, right? Otherwise, you'll have to go to each and every calendar and configure that which time zones are available, which is very painstaking. So if you see errors, let us know. We will just make the system better.
Got it. Yeah. No, I've just had a number of issues. Like we're only in the US where just like UTC plus 12 gets, selected. And all of a sudden my sales team is getting appointments at like 2 a.m.
I have seen this happen when people use VPN. So, I mean, a lot of times,
okay.
Yeah, so that is a VPN issue. I mean, yeah, just share with us some examples. We will try to gauge how big the problem is, and we'll decide a solution accordingly.
Got it. Additionally, real quick, calendar wise, I've got a ticket that I've been waiting on 2 months for. It just got kicked to the calendar team. I know you guys were doing magic in your retreat. Anyone that can follow up on that would be great. Can I drop the number in the chat? I'm not having users assigned to appointments, and no one can seem to figure it out.
Ron, you want to take that one to Sibi?
Like Luca was connected with me, but I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. Can you drop the ticket number in the chat, and I'll escalate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Sean, and thanks, Brian, for the question. Next one we have is from Francis. This is a permissions question. If we want our client to be able to delete contacts or import a CVS, essential contact management, we have to give them admin to the location. But then that defeats the purpose of setting any permissions, because then they have access to all the settings and can readjust everything. Is there a way around this? And then there's a second part to it. It's when will email support CCing contacts as well?
I think for the permissions one, Sid, if you could add this to the roadmap that you're building for permissions, it'll be amazing.
Yep.
And CCing in the conversations, email is also something that we get. So we'll add that to the roadmap as well.
Sean, just as a note on this question, what is your take and what are your plans on adding greater granular permission levels for everybody to use?
Oh my God, I just saw a screenshot on this and I almost fell out of my chair. The amount of granularity these people have planned kills me. But that's the great news. I'm not involved. So they've done a stellar job looking at all the feedback they've gotten. And I think at some point, who owns that, by the way?
I'm looking into it.
Okay, cool. Perfect. All right. So do you have that crazy screenshot from the other day? I think you were the one showing it, right?
No, that was for notifications actually. But
oh yeah, okay. But just show, okay, so just show that if you don't mind. But just as an example. So the process these nice folks are going through is exactly that. So and this is why we have exceptional product managers. So they're sitting down and putting together all of these granular permissions based on feedback that they've gotten from the ideas list all over. And then I think they're also meeting with key customers to review it. But like on notifications, as an example, do you have that screenshot?
Just a moment, Sean. I'm just,
okay, cool. Like I'll just show you. I mean, I see it, but so my philosophy is we just want to do a good job, and the way to do that is for me not to be involved. But like this is notifications. Like
Yeah,
people
this
have
is
asked
something
for more
which is
granular control on notifications, and I looked at this and I was like, oh my god, are you serious? But look, see, if that's what they're going to do for notifications, could you only imagine what the granularity on permissions is going to look like?
This is awesome.
So there you go. So, and for anybody who was wondering about what we're going to do with granular control of notifications, as you can see, quite a bit. So yeah, these are the types of things that are be coming around the corner, I suspect, really hard and strong in Q4. But I think what is exceptionally difficult about it, just looking at these things, I mean, just looking at this is notifications, right? It's just trying to encapsulating everybody's needs and wants into a really well done setup. I think it takes quite a bit of work to do that. So, so anyways, my philosophy is I'm going to let other people like this who are way better at this than me do a great job for
That's awesome. Are we going to be able to limit sub-account admins from changing those things like what we have now? Is this going to be in a place where only we can do it?
But I mean, your notifications will layer, I mean, the permissions will layer on top of the notification stuff, right? The notification stuff will be part of the permissioning set, I imagine. So the answer will be yes. I mean, we know in general that there's this sort of like need of some folks to just sort of completely deny any kind of admin level access to their users, and that will be taken into account for the permissions, which is, by the way, why this is taking a gosh awful long time, because it's very, 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 in-depth, detailed work.
Well, it's kind of like a super admin type access versus account admin access.
Yeah, and I think we will probably introduce another user type, if I had to guess. And I think that they're also working on things like default permissions for new users. So when you add people, then they'll automatically inherit an existing set of permissions that you've defined. Really trying not to walk out a half step, but really just try to walk out a roughly complete solution.
But if you roll that out, then we really need to have the ability to emulate a user, because if you
also already seen screenshots for this.
Okay.
Already seen screenshots for that. In fact, that may even drop before the permissioning.
I hope it does.
And Sean, you're saying that you think it's going to be Q4-ish?
I mean, if I had to guess, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. What team does that belong to?
My man, right here. Oh,
CRM.
Can't see my mouse.
It belongs to CRM.
Oh, it's CRM. Okay. All right.
CRM. Yeah.
Love it.
Well, that's really exciting news. Let's move forward though for the next question, because we do have a few and we are kind of we're getting close to the end. Next one's from Tamara. Can you update us about SMS, it and when it will be available to use instead of Twilio?
That is okay. So that question is really for me, and feel free to correct me, but this is the only way I know that question to actually be able to be asked is, when does the hosted version of High Level's ISV, as we call it, but our hosted version of SMS, which by the way is Twilio powered, go live versus me having to use my SMS? Is that the question that's really being asked here? Feel free to come off mic and correct me one way or the other.
Hey, Sean, thank you so much. So the question is, I had heard through the Facebook group, the Pro High Level group, that SMS-it was going to be an option for us instead of Twilio.
Certainly not by my hand. We have an API. We have an API that is open for people to do this, so we want to happily step out of other people's ways. But I have yet personally to come across a single SMS provider that gets anywhere close to Twilio once you actually consider all things. And so on our side, what we will be releasing is a hosted version of we're going to call it the lead connector phone system, but basically it's us running Twilio on your behalf behind the scenes. And in fact, you'll have another video from me after this with some updates to the lead connector phone system about a bunch of stuff we're doing to help keep people from getting their accounts shut down automatically. And it'll end up just basically having us take care of all the compliance, all the registration, and our goal is to make it cheaper than Twilio as well. So that's what we're doing on our side to try to simplify this, because I just want to provide what I think is a really good end product, and we're at the point now where we can do that on the SMS side, and we're going to power it with Twilio because again, there's 4 providers in the world that get close to that level, but everybody else isn't also ran at best in comparison to those 4 providers, and of those 4 providers, Twilio is pretty good.
And
awesome.
I mean,
awesome. Thank you.
And like we did a lot of meetings with all the other providers, and we get this request from time to time that can you support bandwidth.io, can you support Cinch? We did meetings with all of these people, and we had like an objective sort of metric, like how many countries do they support, what kind of phone numbers, what is their coverage, the cost, everything. At the end of it, Twilio was the winner. So I mean, like, it's not like your requests are falling on deaf ears. We did our due diligence, and we still felt that Twilio was a better option, like everything considered.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And great question. Next one is from Don. WordPress hosting features what/when, the ability to restore, the ability to have a library.
So great that Shivam was already ready for that last question. He's ready for this one too.
Yeah, so WordPress, the restore is going to go out by the end of this month. In fact, it's ready. We are just doing a final test. So the ability to restore and basically do backups, that is going to be available by the end of this month. We recently changed the WordPress flow. I hope you guys noticed, those of you who are using WordPress heavily. The new flow does not require you to point any domains or commit to anything. You can create an instance. We will provide you a staging domain. That is your staging environment. Once you are happy that your website is fine, then you can point your domain to us. So it's actually becoming quite robust now. A few other things that we have on.
Oh, cell phone reception died. That's what I'm gonna go with there.
Yeah.
We can't hear you, Shivam.
He can't hear you either, most likely. We'll make sure when he comes back, I'm sure we'll know. But suffice to say, we're focused very heavily on making WordPress nothing less than awesome before we release it. The hosting's always been great, but people's ability to hurt themselves was shockingly also great. And so we've spent a great deal of time keeping people from blowing themselves up. Or if you do blow yourself up, you can unblow yourself up with a click. So that's really why it hasn't reached general availability, but we're on track to reach GA by the end of this quarter. And so WordPress should be available to everybody. Same goes, by the way, for Twilio ISV and also for email ISV, where we're going to also get rid of the need for Mailgun. Is KR on this call? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he is. Karthikeyan, are you here? Are you up? I can see you're here, but you are muted, so I don't know if you're really here. Okay, he's here in spirit. Shivam, you're back. You can speak to it.
Yeah, so quick updates on the ISV email. I mean, a lot of people, we found out that about 5,000 agencies use our Mailgun account. So we are just going to consolidate that. We have seriously improved the deliverability, and at this point, even our worst domain is delivering 92% emails. So that's very high compared to the lead gen and cold email activities that happen. So we have done a great job over there. The email ISV will gradually become the default for new signups. And every time a new agency signs up, they don't have to bother with Mailgun. They don't have to, put the Mailgun API key or anything of that sort. They will be able to configure domains directly inside High Level. So all of that is going to become easy. And once we feel confident that, okay, everything looks good, everything is performing well, everything is delivering well, that's when we'll allow our existing agencies to migrate. And we are working really hard to sort of make this coincide with the Level Up conference. So yeah, if everything goes well, when like the people who attend the Level Up conference, they would be able to try the ISV email right then and there.
Shivam, you said allow existing users to migrate. Are we eventually going to be required to migrate?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to have to get people all cranky with me in the darn Facebook group. So no. Same thing with the lead connector phone system. But our goal, but and we also, for the record, we're carrots, not sticks kind of people. So we're just gonna do a really awesome job, and you'll want to migrate eventually anyways. But no, we're not. The goal here is to just sort of provide a default path for all new people, but keep open the path for people who are bent on, for whatever reason, using their own, for good reason or for bad. Because I just have done this long enough to know that some people want to use their own because they actually have a good reason, and most people want to use their own because they have no clue what they're talking about. But either way, you just don't want to fight with them. So you just say, oh yeah, no problem. You just keep on keeping on there, buddy. So yeah, no, we won't force anybody to do anything.
Awesome.
And,
Thanks for the.
Just one thing, like our email rates are actually much more competitive than High Level or SendGrid. So anyone who has any reservations,
He meant Mailgun, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, when the pricing comes out and when you look at the offer that what we have to offer, like what we are offering as value on our platform, I think most of you would want to move over.
Oh yeah, I forgot. It'll be cheaper than what you're currently paying, but that's cool. We're gonna get you there. Don't you worry. But no, we won't force anybody. I don't like that strategy anyways. I hate when people tell me what to do, and I try not to tell people what to do unless I feel like it's a necessary evil. So no. Next question.
Next question is from Melissa. Is Lead Connector phone system available for non-US clients now? I want to switch to it, but I have clients in other countries, Canada and the UK.
The answer is yes, and just hit me up. There is one small thing that we have to do, but yes, Lead Connector phone system is now supported in all countries.
Okay, thanks, Shivam. I'm on the beta, yeah.
Woohoo!
Awesome. Next one is from Stephanie. For the affiliate feature, is it on the roadmap to have the affiliates in the contact record level? So if I were to go to John Doe's record, would I eventually see who they have referred / were referred by?
No, I mean, yes and no. So no. So in order to get this feature out for the skateboard, the answer is no. So initially, affiliates will be separate from contacts, but we're sort of aware of the fact that they eventually.
This is definitely like down the road.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to remember about that. I pushed hard for them to be contacts from day one, but it was like, okay, well then you can get that by Christmas. And I was like, forget it. Never mind. Just do whatever you got to do. So so it will absolutely happen though, because we do want to correlate that data.
If you're interested in something to look at to copy, we've heard a lot about Less Annoying CRM and their relationships area. And that's where you can go into the contact record and see like, oh, they referred this, and that person, the very simple stuff that way.
Totally.
And we've heard a ton of great things about it, and that's one of the things that people are still using it for. So if you're curious
if you ever want to do me a solid and just give me like a 60-second loop on that specific section,
I would love
I
also
that.
think I have a screenshot of it as well, so I can do that.
That'd be awesome. Thank you very much. Man, Less Annoying CRM has been around forever. I'm surprised they're still kicking.
Well, thanks for the question, Stephanie. Next one is from Glenn. Can I get an update on the CRM enhancements, organization object, multi-phone, and email, etc.?
Of course he would ask that question, A. But B, of course he would ask it the day that the darn... Well, actually, several members of the CRM team are here, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Perfect. Okay. Well, Karan is here, actually. So, Karan, that one's for you.
Yes. On the CRM side, we're working on many things. Today, we went live with the tags UI. And the next item that's on the list is custom fields foldering. And to answer your specific question...
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry, Karan. Sorry. Hold on. I gotta slow you up here real quick. It is in the release notes channel. New tags page with pagination, deleted tags. Wow. You can search tags. Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Awesome job. That looks sweet, man. I can't wait to make a video on that. Anyways, all right, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, and the next item is going to be the custom fields foldering. And to answer your specific question, company object, as we call it, is on the roadmap for this quarter. And yeah, and on the multi-phone and email, can you be a bit more specific? Like, what are you exactly referring to?
Yeah, I mean, it's been the same questions I've had for 2 years. Yeah, the ability to send an email to more than one person. I know somebody asked a question in regards to an appointment. Can we book 2 people on, send an invitation?
It's the CC on an email.
CC, BCC, yeah. And
there you go.
And then you need extended attributes, right? You need attributes for the organization, and then you need attributes for the contacts.
Got it. I'll convey that to the product team, and I'll ask them to add this one to the roadmap. But the organization object I can confirm is on the roadmap for this quarter.
So I thought I saw supposed to be out at the end of Q2, which was last month officially now, but the organization object and the
got pushed.
Oh, okay.
Well, what's the other one? The BCC and CC?
Yeah, well, that's all been that's all been part of my.
But I actually think about this stuff mostly because of you. So the company object, I definitely know is getting done this quarter. It did get a push from last quarter. The CRM team got behind. We added several new members to that team, but I'm trying to remember this. The CC and the BCC are not an undiscussed feature. I think Karan may not, and Karan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you're necessarily working on that particular feature. Is that reasonable?
Yeah. Okay. We don't have this on the roadmap. Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out who owns that and where it is.
Because I thought it was on the roadmap.
The answer is there isn't an answer to that one because I just need to ask John. He's not here.
What Karan is saying is that it is not on his roadmap. We have 16, 17 engineers on the CRM team. Someone is working on it. We just don't know right now who's working on it.
Yeah, so exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That sort of a situation.
Yeah. Okay, it hasn't fallen through the cracks as far as you're telling me.
It's just we're so big now that no one person knows all things.
Are you gonna build some kind of a tool to like when you create an organization object, right? That's a big deal. Yeah. As far as the database table structures, right? So, I mean, how are we going to migrate? Like, if I have 15 contacts that belong to one company, which I currently have in my system, and then I want to migrate that, to create the organization object and then the different contacts out of that. Are you going to build some kind of a tool or wizard or something?
So, no tool would be necessary. What you just need to do is there's already a company field on each one of those contacts. Just say that this contact belongs to this company and it would automatically populate in the organizational structure. So let's say I have 100 contacts, 20 of them belong to company A. As long as I have mentioned that these contacts belong to company A, someday when we release this feature, automatically an organization called company A would show up and all these contacts would be attributed.
Okay.
So that's good for company, but what about like a dentist and you have a family, father, mother, 3 children?
Yeah, we'll just have to we have this also on discussion as well, where you basically have a naming constraint,
right?
And a company as a family, right?
Yeah. Now I just do it all through tags because there's no other way.
So what we're going to do first is come out with I don't know if we're going to call it the organization object, although it almost seems like you should, because then people who want company will be like, oh yeah, organization, company. People want families like family, organization. But I don't know. But yeah, eventually we will come out with like a naming concept based on industry. But I'm first more interested in having the functionality. And Glenn, really to be more specific to your question though, that's why we have product managers, that they sit down and go through all of those details from end to end and create all of the plans for that and define what the tools need to be for migration and so forth. Shivam may know way more about our plans in that area than I do. But just so you're aware, I suspect someone is considering that. And again, Shah runs the CRM team and he's not here. So
yeah, it's a huge, for me, it's a huge issue. Like if I'm doing a data conversion from a customer's customer
and I
base.
totally get that. And I could see a scenario where if nothing else, I could see a scenario where you could on the contact section, for example, you could select a bunch of them and you could bulk add them to a company, right? Something like that.
And the other big one, which I've brought up several times, is this current lack of ability to generate a contact inside of GHL from an email outside of GHL, right? So now,
so that will come with a formal integration with a Gmail or an Outlook, and that's something that I'm trying to get done in Q4.
So that's for this year. Is that legit? Is that realistic?
I mean, I think it is. I mean, it's all about how fast we can add engineers, but it's sort of like, for us, it's all about just moving with the ideas list, moving with the customer base. And you represent like I'm a sales guy and I have a bunch of sales people kind of persona, right? And I'd say that represents 20% of our audience, right? And so that audience will grow, obviously, as we add those features, which is why we add those features, right? But it's also why we add those features slower than other features, because, you know, if I want more customers tomorrow, affiliate management will get me a lot more customers than the company object. But what we do see the CRM as being incredibly important, and we will eventually come to parity with every other CRM. And I think it's just a question of how fast we get that done. But for me, on my cool notes here that I keep on things that I want to see in subsequent quarters, the two-way. Oh, in fact, look, I don't even have to lie to you. See right here, Q4, two-way email sync, Gmail and Outlook. That was my first item. It should have a 1 there, but I don't know why not, but whatever. That I want to discuss to put on Q4. And that I think will solve for your use case here.
Yeah, I'm amazed. I'm just, amazed.
Real
at this
quick,
point. It's not a big issue.
though, we don't have that much time left, and I'd like to go through the other questions, Glenn. So I really appreciate it.
Okay, if you guys could just connect me to anybody in your team that I could talk to about this stuff, would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send you his booking link.
Thank you.
Awesome. Next question we have is from Sean, affiliate question. Talk again about how the affiliate section could be used for the clients as well. I heard Sean mention something.
My favorite subject. Okay, so here's the deal. Affiliate management software is just a name. It's like websites and funnels. Anybody know the difference? Going once, going twice. That's
yes,
right.
Yes, I do. There is no difference.
Hey, give that man a prize. Okay, so that's the point, right? But why do we do that? Because people like to be told what it is they want to hear. So you got to have both labels, right? So same thing, affiliate management software, in my opinion, we'll do everything like a first promoter style system will do, but also I think you could create really cool situations where it's like, hey, if you have your friend come in and buy whatever, buy 5 get 1 free massage pack. I don't know, you guys are all marketers, you'll figure it out. XYZ promotion, we'll give them, or you, excuse me, 20% of whatever is sold, or I don't know, however you want to structure it, right? And so now what do you have? You have this sort of scenario where you can give a code, you can give a landing page, you can, to every single one of your customers, tell them to go give it to every single one of their friends. And if they purchase, bada bing, bada boom, now that salon, let's say that massage spa or whatever, is making a lot of money because they're getting a lot of distribution from their existing clientele, right? No ads. And their clients are getting money from the med spa. Wow, isn't that a beautiful world, right? So in my opinion, it's a phenomenal way to grow a business. You could just see high level as an example of that. And I think it's really cool because it really is about hopefully doing an awesome job for your customer and then saying, hey, listen, here's an incentive to go out and share what you already use and like with somebody else and get paid for your efforts because we really appreciate you taking the time to do it. So I think it could be used in absolutely the same way. And, obviously the online stuff is easy. It's like coaching programs and all of that. People will already know how to do that, but it's the same deal. And you can do it obviously one time, you can do it subscription based. You can do it on any kind of flow.
Sean, with that, would we be able to?
The beach is talking to me. Freaking me out. No, I'm just kidding.
Would we be able to shave a piece off the top of that for us so that we wouldn't potentially have to charge our clients, but we could yet add the feature and take a percentage off of their affiliate sales?
I'm absolutely certain you could figure out a way to do that by simply pulling the payments through Well, I mean, honestly, if you're just doing this legitly straight out, I mean, you'll be able to see all the data, right? So you could invoice them through, I don't know, high levels invoicing system, for example, for, once a month for any amount that they bring in. But, again, my strong advice to you is to become a SaaS company, charge a monthly SaaS fee that represents the use of that feature. And, unless you're truly going to the mat and making all the sales for them or something. But if, a far more infinitely scalable methodology, in my opinion, is to come up with a feature, come up with a game plan for your niche or for your type of customer, and then make money every month by charging them a flat fee and have them go off and run the game plan for themselves. That's a far more profitable way, in my opinion, to do it. But could you do it that way? Absolutely.
Thank you.
In fact, we have a workflow trigger for this. So, I mean, if the end goal is to sell products on a funnel, or, maybe you want to book appointments, every time an appointment is booked, you can actually charge your client and you can collect money on that behalf. But a lot of people don't do it. I think a lot of people want to go ahead with what Sean suggested, like just have a strategy, build a solution, charge a flat SaaS fee or your retainer, and just let your clients go wild with it.
Human psychology is such that we all want certainty in life, and even though there is no such thing as certainty, if you can give the impression of certainty, the market will reward you. I mean, ultimately, your clients, whoever they may be, would love to think in their mind that, look, no matter, like, come hell or high water, like whether I make $1 million or $10,000, I'm only going to pay $497. That is a very warm and fuzzy feeling for them, because it creates certainty, right? So ultimately, that's why I think some of these sliding scale concepts, there's a lot of sex appeal. Like I remember last year, the whole thing was like, no ad spend, no paying me anything. I'm just going to take money if people like show up or something. It's like pay per show, I think is what it was called. And what invariably would happen in the right circumstances is the business owner would actually pay like a gajillion times more than they would have had they just cut a check. And so it was like the best marketers I met using that process, they would use the pay-per-show model as like the entry gate to get the yes, to get the sale, because it sounds great, right? Pay me nothing. And then what they would do though is they knew the sticker shock was coming on like at the end of month one. So at the end of month one, they'd hit them with like a big bill, like $5,000 for all the people they got to show up at the gym or whatever. And they'd be like, hey, but guess what? If you want to convert to flat fee right now, I'll take your $5,000 and I'll knock it down to $3,000, but you just got to sign an annual contract. And it was genius, because all of a sudden the person felt this relief that they saved $2,000. But had they gone out of the gate saying you should pay me $3,000 a month, that same business would have said you're nuts. So there are really cool flips like that you can do, but I'd be really cautious about trying to do it over the long term. I think it'd be better if you could find a way into flat fee. Sorry, go ahead, Nico.
No.
That's more than I wanted to know anyway.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks, Sean, for the breakdown. We are over time, so we're just going to do a few more here. Next one is from Francis. Notice that the Twilio rebilling formula is inconsistent in the UK. I'm currently doing a 2x rebilling, but the charges in Stripe are random and fluctuate and definitely are not 2x.
I would want to see this. One of the biggest reasons for this could be the carrier charges. And there are a bunch of categories. I mean, every time you send an SMS, you're obviously charged for the SMS, but there are a lot of hidden categories that come into play, like, carrier lookup, carrier charges. There are a bunch of that stuff going on. And especially if you are texting US customers from UK numbers, I have seen some variability there as well. Just share the location ID with me. I'll drop my email ID in the chat. So just share the example with me and we'll take a closer look.
Shivam, one quick thing on that. I'm going to connect with you because I just checked, and this goes way back to the beginning of the conversation today. I looked and there is no charges that I see in my location accounts for the actual call tracking numbers.
Sounds good.
Yeah, just I'm putting my email ID in the chat. Just send me these examples and we'll run those down.
Thanks.
Awesome. Next question.
Next one is from Mary Sue. Will we be able to copy campaigns to resend or send to a different group?
This one is already in our current sprint. So it will get released within like 2 or 3 weeks. So you'll be able to copy the campaigns and then, you can resend them out. So this is already there. Thank you.
Yes, in a couple weeks. Next question.
Next one's
Thank
from
you.
Jake. Are there any plans to allow forms to be saved in their original formatting within the custom card, as opposed to randomized order in the additional info section?
Can we set the order of the additional info fields? That's essentially what that is, I think.
Well, the form itself, if we could have the form itself as its own sort of object or entity that you can open up and take a look at, I think it could be useful.
Are you saying like on the contact card?
Yeah, on the contact card.
If you click the, have you clicked the clipboard icon?
No. What clipboard?
Click the clipboard icon. It'll pop up the form submission by itself in the activity.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thanks, Jake.
Woo, got one.
Next one is from Mike. Let's see if you can go for 2 for 2. It would be useful to have a filter for calendars of reschedule and cancel, so custom emails can go out based on those selectors.
Wait, so you can do that by cancels. What was the other one?
Reschedule.
Oh yeah, and reschedules is on the list. So you can already do status cancel, I believe. Am I lying? Can somebody back me up here?
Yeah, you can do the cancel. It's the reschedule that's got the power.
Gus for the win. That's right. Okay. So you heard it here first. Gus says, yes, you can do cancel. Reschedule is coming though. Next question.
Next one is from Mary. Is there a discount for the conference if you are on the SaaS level? This is going back to the in-person event that you talked about before we started.
I doubt it. But given how amazing it's going to be, it's like I like to say, it's already a good deal. But I don't know. Talk to Robin.
Love it. Next one is from D. Roger. Is there a way to track whether a contact engages with email campaigns like opening or clicking? I like to know if over time, whether they are engaged or not, so I can suppress them from future mailings.
Pooja.
So this one has already come to our place. So we have some feature that we want to get this one out. It's on our roadmap, but it will not happen in Q3, but it's something that we want to target in Q4.
Now, what we can do already in the workflow builder is you can already action off of events, right? Like opens and clicks on emails. Yep. And you can also click to see stuff that's happened in a workflow to get a bunch of email stats as well. That's already there, correct?
Yeah, that's already there. That's already there. But if you want to, again, resend them out, if you again want to resend them out, and if you just need to create like the workflow containers, so that could be easily be done even inside like email builder. That's something that we have planned it for Q4 as an exclude object and include object. So that's something that we have decided, but it will be something in Q4, if not done in Q3.
Yeah, because if this was me today and I had the challenge of saying like, okay, anybody who didn't do X, I want to, re-engage them or whatever, I would just personally do it in a workflow today.
Yeah. Ideally, it can be done in workflow today, but if not from workflow and you want to continue with the same campaign and same things, then you can just set it inside like email builder. That's something that we have decided is as a future event for email builder. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So I would say today you can build it in the workflow, and then tomorrow you'll be able to also do it even more easily in the email builder itself.
Yeah, and for our clients, what we do is we set up email scoring and we give them points for clicking or replying. We do it for texting too. And then we have a date field that updates to the current date every time they engage. So we can track who's engaged in the last 30, 60, 90 days or not, and they all get scores. So the scores just keep building and building and building, and that way you can make sure you're talking
to Kristen, would you be willing to film a Loom and drop it in Facebook on that?
Sure.
I get you a lot of love. I'm certain of it.
Sure, I can do that.
You're amazing. And as Mr. D. Rogers here probably would like it too. Any other last questions to wrap here? Sir? Nico?
I mean, we definitely have a few more, but
let's do like one or two more and call it a day.
Cool. Let's do two more then. The last two is going to be Haya. When are we activating the submissions for website templates in the marketplace? Seeing coming soon on website for quite some time.
Robin, or I was told August 1st, but it's August 3rd. So if anybody from my team has a better answer, I'd love to hear it. Well,
I mean, when we go to create a when we go to create a funnel or a website right now, when you click on create new funnel, the funnel templates are already there. Like all of the new 120 some funnel templates that we wanted, all of those are in the funnel template section right now, unless I'm mistaken.
No, I think this might be the marketplace
Yeah.
where for
Yeah, this is a
customization.
different question.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
different
almost
question.
it's almost there. I'd say like in the next week is a reasonable timeline. So sorry about that. It's a couple days late. Okay, next and last question.
The
You
next and last, what's up?
You can skip mine. You don't have to worry about mine. We already answered it.
Oh, okay, cool. So the next and last is from Bill. Is there a tax responsibility for telecom rebilling?
I don't know.
Depends upon your local rules. It would be worthwhile. Like, I mean, just Google it. Depending upon the state that you are in and the country that you are in, just comply with your local rules. I mean, that's what we get.
And also, I mean, the other piece of this, and I guess, well, okay, I think about it like this. Actually, I don't think that we pay any taxes on the telecom side. So I doubt that you would. I suspect we're paying Twilio is the actual, because they're like they're effectively the LEC, the local exchange carrier, the CLEC. To go back to my LD days, they probably are doing the taxes on your behalf. So, I mean, you should absolutely ask the question to someone way smarter than me, but like an attorney or something, or a tax accountant. But it seems logical that that's the case, because I feel like I would have heard about a big tax bill by now had you have to pay that. So I would say no. Although while we're on the subject, and before we close, all of the SaaS tax stuff, just make sure everybody's up on that. But I think we have a document in the help section on this a little bit. But so different states tax SaaS now differently. Some don't tax it at all, some do. So be apprised of where your state is. And then the other big thing is reseller or not reseller. So as I roughly understand it, and please do talk to your legal counsel and do not take this as legal advice, but the idea is fairly simple. If you are a reseller, you yourself are not specifically necessarily responsible to pay and remit taxes on it. You can then pass those taxes on to your customer, but in order to be a reseller, you have to meet certain requirements. You can't just like say, oh, I'm a reseller now. You have to I forget what the things are. It's in the help doc. But fact of the matter is, just sort of be cognizant of that idea, and make sure that you're researching it, so that your local tax authority doesn't come knocking asking for unpaid taxes. And I gave an example of this the other day. When I get my Shopify receipt, it says, it says Shopify $29, and then because our headquarters is in Texas, it says, oh, state of Texas transit tax, state of Texas SaaS sales tax, or whatever it is, SaaS tax or whatever. So just realize that that's the kind of thing that we're going to start having to do as well, as we move forward, unless you have applied for and validated your status as a reseller. Which probably
awesome.
Well,
that was a great last question.
All that to say, drop that help. Go look at the help article.
Awesome. Thanks again. Amazing question, Sean. Thank you for the breakdown. And that's going to be it, everyone, for the Town Hall of August. We appreciate you all coming and joining us today, and we will see you guys in September.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Ciao.